Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup series by Smashcast TV. We have the last match of the day for the SEA region and actually, since the EU version is done, it's the last match for the day as a whole. What a sad thing to say, but it's an exciting best of 3 for the losers brackets of the SEA version of this tournament. It's Execration duking it out with a Prime NND, seeing who can take this first match for the best of 3 and get one step closer to that victory, and of course not elimination, which is what they're looking for. We have the Prime NND here coming from Greater Jakarta, which I can only presume is the outskirts of Jakarta, because why else would you call them a team from Greater Jakarta if they're just from Jakarta? And Execration, a team, the exclusive Pinoy team that has been, well, I mean, pretty much the most well-known Filipino organization, but sadly, with the new, I mean, they have a lot of standards. They've been changing lineup constantly. They haven't been able to find some serious players to play with them, and Execration is not doing too well. And they're hoping to at least get, maybe not the ProDota Cup win. Maybe that's an excessive thing to say, but they might have a chance to, you know, at least come 4th or 5th in this tournament. You know, 4th. Not even 4th, 3rd in this tournament. That would be the good thing for Execration. Let's see if they can at least make it to another round. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today. And let's get right into the draft, shall we? Execration ban out the Nyx Assassin, the Train Protector, the Troll Warlord, and the Lifestealer, whereas they pick up a Slardar, a Warlock, and a Juggernaut. The Prime NND, while banning out the Night Stalker, the Jakiro, the Bristleback, and the Ursa, and they'll pick up a Magnus and a Crystal Maiden. Let's see how this draft moves on. Magnus and Crystal Maiden, great amount of teamfight, freezing field to zone at everyone around. Awful laner, as Magnus allows you to have actually pretty strong lanes because he doesn't care if the lane goes well or not. Crystal Maiden also helps you out a lot in this early game scenario because you have the Frostbite, of course, the Arcane Aura, so you can spam Shockwave without much of a punishment. They also pick up a Sand King for the better mid game, so they can actually go snowball into a decent late game. Considering Magnus gives you the Empower, with a bit of space created for your team, you're able to outfarm most anyone in the enemy lineup, including a Juggernaut. So of course the Sand King offers you that space in the mid game combined with the Crystal Maiden. They're really good supports. They use the Epicenter and whatnot, get a couple team fights kills, and in case the team fight doesn't work out too well for the Prime NND, they still have the backup plan of the Empower. I'll keep quoting Lil whenever I see a Magnus. Now, Execration on the other hand, what are they bringing to the table? They bring up a Warlock, a Slardar, a Juggernaut, and Darkseer. So the combo of Darkseer Slardar is something Execration loves running, and it does work very well for them. They're going to combine that with a Juggernaut to offer a bit more physical damage. Oh, I love that Sven pick. We'll talk about it in a second. They're gonna combine it with the Juggernaut for a bit more physical damage, but more importantly, the push the Juggernaut provides with a healing ward and lane sustain the Warlock also gives you with a Shadow Ward, of course. The Slardar already gives you all the damage necessary with the amplified damage, so you can just go for a carry that has a bit of early game potential, but is mostly just of a laning carry. There's no way you're gonna be able to bother this Juggernaut in the lane, and the Warlock doesn't really need to have the stun because you're up against a Magnus. You know you're not gonna be able to kill that anyway, so there's really not much of a point. The Juggernaut is actually gonna be quite powerful though in this lineup coming to the mid game. Only issue is, oh, he's up against a Sven. What does Sven have? Well, he has armor, a great amount of armor, the Warcry, which stops most of Juggernaut's damage because it's mainly physical. He has a stun for the Juggernaut that, even though it can be evaded by Blade Fury, once Blade Fury is done, you have a really easy way to screw over the Juggernaut. And on top of that, you already have 2 more stuns in the game and 1 root, so you're pretty much set in terms of stun locking. And on top of that, the God Strength makes him impossible to kill nowadays. With level 2 giving you 28 extra strength, and therefore shit ton of HP. No, that's a terrible analysis. 28 is what? It is more than armor. It's around 452, I believe. It's 452, 450, or 68 or so HP. Regardless, that's ridiculous just for activating God's Strength. That's only level 2. And Sven also has a greater farming power, especially with the Magnus than the Juggernaut does. In addition to have a ridiculous amount of damage, because both God's Strength and Empower combine so well with the extra strength you have and with his base attack damage. It's actually ridiculous how strong the Prime NND has, how strong a lineup they're running. In fact, the Prime NND here, they ban out the Puck, but I don't think that's actually the ban or the hero that they want to ban out. They should have banned out the Invoker or the Tinker. Both heroes that Rusmine loves. The Tinker seems a bit weak against Slardar and Juggernaut, and the Darkseer as well, but the Invoker seems perfect. You have a Sven with a stun. I mean, you have 4 stuns in the team already. 4 pretty solid stuns. 3 of them are not ultimates. You also have a lot of ultimate damage. You have a way to stop the Warlock and the Slardar from initiating with your Tornado if you do pick the Invoker. And of course, your Sunstrike in the early game can have so much effectivity. The Prime NND should definitely pick up an Invoker for Rusmine and just, you know, utilize it well. The other option here would be a Co-op. If you're really afraid of this Juggernaut pick, just go full-on Co-op and, you know, harass him in the early game, force the Blade Fury out, and once the Blade Fury is out, then yeah, there it is, Sonic Wave. So the Well, I clearly do know my picks, some degrees. I just need to restart my game. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to fix up this issue with Dota. Mainly that keeps crashing, but we'll be back in a second. Just trying to make sure that everything's okay. The stream's okay. Alright. Alright. Okay, set. Finally back in the game. Sorry about that, but we'll back there. Okay, so last pick for Execration apparently is an Ember Spirit. Cool. Sorry about the having to restart that, but sometimes it has to happen, and about the typing. Usually I don't type in the game. Alright, so Execration do pick up an Ember Spirit as the last pick. Against the Queen of Pain, gonna have a really hard time, honestly, this Ember Spirit. You can take away the Flame Guard quite easily. You have a lot of damage with both pure and magical, so you can take out the Flame Guard at the same time, deal a lot of damage to the Ember Spirit. Queen of Pain loves the Orchid, which is an item that Ember Spirit hates, particularly. So it's not gonna be easy. The little tower matchups, you're going to see that full level tower for the guys at... I can't believe it. The Prime NND might not win in games, but they do win in terms of companion points. Cool. Right. We're finally in the game. I do believe that you should be able to see this properly. Yes, you are. Let me add some ads. There. It looks nicer with ads, isn't it? Right. So we're finally in the game where the Prime NND are duking it out against Execration.
Savage.
Wrecked. I like that. Okay. Let's present the teams real quick. Stop, guys. Please stop using the little signs so I can present the teams. This is after all a cast. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your cast for today, and let's see what the teams have for us this match. The guys from the Prime NND, sorry, the guys from the Prime NND will be playing the Radiant on this matchup. It's the good guys on the green side. We have the Prime NND from Greater Jakarta. Representing them is going to be Panda as the Crystal Maiden with a mustache set in the support position. Second support is R7 as Mr. Sanking. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Anafar is the Crystal Main support position. Panda is actually the carry here as the Sven. In the mid lane, we have Ruzman as the Queen of Pain. And then finally, in the off-lane position... Okay, there. BFL will be playing the Magnus. As for Execration, on the Dire side, we have Leomik as the Slaughter in the support position. In the off... By the way, I've told these guys to change their names. They chose not to, so these are their official names as players. These are their names as players. I just want to remind you that if they ever refer to themselves as anything else, it's wrong. These are their names. Just so we get some punishment for the players that don't like changing their names and like calling themselves these things, right? Escon will be playing the Darkseer in the offlane position. Lovely. 2 lines will be the Warlock. Oh, wait. There's the Stormhammer. Easy kill onto 2 lines. No, the Slithering Crush will stop him. And Harlequin actually deal a considerable amount of damage going onto R7. That's a lot of bashing power they do have with a Slithering Crush, but of course not enough to get a Blade Fury off. Right, like I said, 2 lines. Going to be playing the Warlock in the support position. In the offlane, Escon on the Darkseer. In the mid lane, 3 boxes is playing the Ember Spirit. And then finally, Harlequin as the carry is going to be on the Juggernaut this game. So yeah, I just want players, I mean, they know this time. They know that we're going to call them these names from now on. I do not know if they're stand-ins or not. It's an issue. And when you ask them nicely, please put your real names on, they just put these names on. So it's only fair that if I ask them to put their real names on and these are the real names, I can not only imagine that that's what their real name is. So 2 lines, one of the best pro players now in the SEA region, apparently, for Execration. And 3 boxes, the greatest Ember Spirit I've ever seen. To be fair, 3 boxes might just be characters that are not identified by my keyboard. The 2 lines is not, but 3 boxes might be just characters like Filipino characters or whatnot. Tagalog, I believe, is the language they speak there, and it should be. Yeah, because Execration is Filipino, so it could be just Tagalog characters, and then I can't really do much about that. I do apologize for that. If that is your name, I wouldn't be able to read it regardless, but I guess 3 boxes will suit you for now. That's the issue. I don't think Dota has the best language optimization system. A lot of games come with, you know, purely the keyboard languages, just so you can understand the chat. Even if you yourself don't have the keyboard language, you know that they're speaking something that's not gibberish, which is boxes. Dota doesn't really have that for certain languages, Filipino being one of them. It does have it for Arab, for example, and for Arabic, sorry, and for Chinese, but does not have it for, or Mandarin rather. I don't even think it has it for Cantonese, to be entirely fair. I'm not entirely sure. Oh well. As in being able to recognize that alphabets not giving you boxes. Let's analyze the lanes for a bit. The Prime NND decided to give a lot of farm priority to this Magnus, running an offensive tri-lane with his Sven. That's not too bad of an idea, especially with a Crystal Maiden helping you out. It's a bit hard to kill the Juggernaut, like I said, with the healing ward on, and with the fact that you have a Sven, sorry, a Warlock to help you out as well. Lomik is forced to stay in this lane though, which is probably what they were looking for. The Sven doesn't care about this. Look at it. He's just gonna harass the Harlequin. He knows he got the last hit, yeah. I mean, he's pretty fast in the beginning. The whole point here is the Ember Spirit, they know they can win the lane against the Ember Spirit, so they don't want the Slaughter to just come by and be able to slither and crush them. Oh, in comes the slithering crush by Lomik. But like I said, Lomik is forced to stay in this top lane because of this aggressive tri-lane. Magnus still gets a decent amount of farm, and he doesn't do too badly against a Darkshooter because of his Empower, and of course the Shockwave. The Arcane Aura also helps, so you can spam these spells a bit more often, so you don't have to deal with those Iron Shell creeps as much. And then you force them to actually deal with Rizman in the middle lane, just a 1v1 in the middle lane. That's horrendous. Why can't I use full screen? I do not know. Smashcast does have some issues. If you do have any issues with Smashcast, do not fret. You are able to watch the game regardless from YouTube. I will upload them right as the game ends. I'm actually really good at it. I mean, at the uploading, I mean. I'm pretty consistent with the whole uploading thing, so do feel free to follow me on Twitter, and then you can watch the replay if you can't watch it at full quality. I also record the videos at 180p and at 70 or 60 FPS. Why I say 70? It's 60 FPS, so it actually has better resolution than what a Hitbox allows me because of their you know, limited bitrate and whatnot. So yeah, don't worry about that. The Execration and the Prime NND will be available on YouTube if you need them. If you do have any problems with the Hitbox, you should be able to go full screen though. Grog 8DD2, I don't know. In the mid lane, 3 boxes about to die, but the Fairy Fire will save him there. He also has a Magic Stick, so Uruzman probably couldn't have killed him anyway. There is, I mean, the possibility of going for an offensive blink and then Scream of Pain and try to kill him, but again, like I said, the offensive blink is, I mean, like I said, but like I usually say, the offensive blinking is very dangerous in the beginning because the Quap obviously doesn't max that blink early. You don't even max, I mean, you don't even max Scream of Pain anymore. You actually go for one extra level of Shadow Strike for lane domination, and of course that means that an offensive blink, it leaves you 15 seconds without any movement ability. Your movement speed is not traditionally that good, so being able to run away from tower without that is a bit hard. He could have actually killed the courier there with an offensive blink, but like I said, sacrificing his life as a result. Though in the beginning, I kind of question if the Queen of Pain is not worth, I mean, it will be 50 plus 1700, or yeah, 1700 divided by 40. It's not that much, practically, the gold you're getting, but it is first blood, so you don't really want to feed that first blood to the Ember Spirit. So the idea that the courier might be worth more than a kill in the early game, I think Panda should be alright thanks to that Warcry. Warcry makes him so tanky, even as a Magic Stick just in case. And the best part about the Warcry in this game is that you're up against a Slaughter, which not only amplify damage, true, but in the early game, that Slithering Crush deals a ridiculous amount of damage because everyone has a low armor, and actually the minus, or the reduction in physical damage, let's look at Queen of Pain for example. Her reduction in physical damage is around 24%, and she has 3 armor, which is alright. When you go up to a support, for example, with much less armor, like a Crystal Maiden, she actually has more magical resistance than physical damage resistance. So the Slithering Crush is one of the stronger spells in the early game. Sven, not the case at all. With a Warcry on, he gets plus 5 extra armor, currently has 28 physical resistance, and then later on, it's even more. So it's going to be kind of hard. Oh, Escod, they need a Shadow Strike onto him. No Sonic Wave, but they has the haste, so they can commit to this pretty easily. Scream of Pain available. One last Scream of Pain. Escod just watches his life go down. Wonders, what have I become? I'm just a Darkseer being pursued by a Queen of Pain in this long line of sad events that is my life. And Uruzman will get that kill. 1-0 is the score. The Prime NND versus Execration, with the Prime NND taking the first kill in this game. Lil Meek though wants to get a second one, tries to go on Panic. Beautiful Frostbite. Now Lil Meek is going to take a damage from the Stormhammer. That's so much damage, Jesus. And in fact, 1 one more hit would have killed Lil Meek, because that sprint was amplifying the damage ridiculously. That level 2 Stormhammer is interesting for this Sven. I wasn't expecting to get a level 2 Stormhammer just to increase the damage, but it's not a bad idea. After all, the greater cleave is not necessary when you have a Magnus to empower you. You still want it, but you don't need to max it immediately. You can get more levels of Stormhammer to actually deal more damage in the lane, even though you can't harass as well, and put a bit more pressure maybe up to the Juggernaut, because right now Harley Quinn is beating, or Harley Quinn is beating you in the lane. I don't know why I keep calling her Harley Quinn. Alright. He does have a Shadow Word to help him out. Oh, careful. There's a bit of help from the Prime NND here. And they could definitely go for a kill. Maybe on the Warlock it'd be an easier target though. Panda is a bit dubious about this whole Harlequin thing. He just wasted the Shadow Word, so Warlock has no way of escaping this. Oh, 2 lines in trouble. There's the Burrow Strike. The Frostbite also available, so yeah, 2 lines. No way he's gonna come out of this one alive. The Shadow Word comes a bit too late. And the Caustic Finale finally blows and destroys his destroys the Warlock. That's 2-0 in favor of the guys at the Prime NND, though Sven is not working out too well. This middle lane is going so well for them that they're quite happy with this situation. Second Burrow Strike. Oh, actually that's a lot of damage, and Harlequins are starting to spin. Maybe actually be able to use the healing ward. They don't actually harass him any further. We're probably going to force that healing ward. In the middle lane, Rosemine actually gets a kill onto the Ember Spirit. While on this top lane, they go into this Sven again. Harlequin does not have the help from the Omnislash, of course. And now they're going to go into R7. Good Stormhammer to stop the initiation from the Slaughter. They stopped the Slithering Crush, probably. And now, all they need is for R7 to survive with perhaps a Burst Strike, but he doesn't have enough mana, even with the Arcane Aura. It's only a level 1 Arcane Aura. Decided to go for that extra point in Crystal Nova. And that was very useful this game, so I don't disagree with that. However, it puts the Prime NND in a much better position. I mean, they're harassing the Juggernaut considerably. The Juggernaut's not getting the kills he's looking for. The Sven has 24 lasses to his name, so he's not doing too badly. But the worst part about this is that you know that the Sven is able to recover so easily. He's not going to have to waste that much gold or that much time in recovering. He might just leave Stormhammer level 2, because there's actually a considerable increase, and then they just leave it at 175 damage. That's horrendous. Please don't miss that many lasses. Maybe a Quelling Blade would have been a good idea. Whatever. He's going for treads first. The only thing they need to do is get him some stacks, and that's all he needs to recover. And these stacks are coming up. Look at this. The Crystal Maid's even taking advantage of it. That's already 2 stacks here. No Ancient stacks just yet. Oh, but in the middle lane, I think 3 boxes is in trouble. They don't have a Sonic Wave though, so probably not going to die. They already went for the Veil of Discord early on, which is a great idea, by the way. And we'll talk about it in a second, because Rosemine might be going in, has a defensive Blink and a Scream of Pain. What are you doing? This was really dangerous. Blink and Scream of Pain. Blink and Scream of Pain. No, not going to stop the salve. They even have the Magic Stick, or the Magic Wand, so it was fine. Right, why is that such a great idea? Veil of Discord, you wonder. Well, I mean, it does amplify the damage Queen of Pain does considerably. It's not like when OD goes for the Scream of, or the Veil of Discord, because OD gets him more for the stats than for the actual ability. Because let's be honest, the actual ability is not that great on an OD. However, BF1 was playing with fire there. Well, playing with Iron Shells. However, on the Queen of Pain, it's much better because it does amplify your damage considerably. Most of your damage is magical in the early game, especially because you don't rely so much on the Sonic Wave. It doesn't make sense to go for the Aghanims once you get Veil of Discord. We'll keep talking about this once Panda decides to kill the Slaughter. Finally, they're gonna fillet him and turn him into sushi. Panda, so happy with his skill. He's in fact so happy he wants to go into Harlequin too. And say, why not? The Crystal Nova to get some vision onto him. R7 has the Burrow Strike, but they can't reach Harlequin in time. Had no Blade Fury, so they could have really harassed him. But of course, they instead harass him out of lane and don't get the kill. Not a bad choice either, because they get the kill on the Slaughter anyway. Right, why is this such a good item in this game specifically? Because the Veil of Discord gives you armor, and you're up against a Slaughter. 6 armor for free and 6 HP regen for free, essentially, for an item that already does a essentially buy because of the utility, is great for Rosemine. It allows him to withstand the damage that the Slaughter can put up in the mid game, and the Juggernaut as well, much easier. And he snowballed so hard that he got the Veil of Discord really soon, allowing him to farm a bit sooner, because a bit faster, because he can actually just spam it against creeps and stuff, and it gives you a whole creep wave. And on top of that, your net worth is so above everyone else that you're not having any trouble this game. I mean, you have 40,800 net worth. Doesn't matter if you go for a Veil of Discord, you waste a bit of gold on it that early, because the Veil of Discord will also have to come out on the Ember Spirit, or usually comes out on the Ember Spirit. And your Queen of Pain in this situation is going to have an advantage anyway, because she's going to not only get her Veil of Discord first, but also able to get kills with it, and furthermore, not losing that much of a gold disadvantage against you. In fact, the gold disadvantage is so huge for the Ember that the Veil of Discord is pretty much the difference in net worth, because it's a pretty cheap item. And they go, look at that, it deals too much damage. The Slaughter comes in, has the Slithering Crush, but I don't think you want to fight this little me because the Burst Strike's available, also Sonic Wave, Frostbite to ensure that Slaughter goes down, and that's going to be an easy kill for them. Meanwhile, 3 Boxes is about to die, Rusman just catches him with a Scream of Pain, and 1 auto attack, and 3 Boxes had nothing. I mean, he couldn't even react to that. The Queen of Pain was way too quick with that. He couldn't remnant the way. The Prime NND are really taking this game, and seems like Indonesia is still not out of this tournament. RRQ might have been, but the Prime NND are holding their flag. Now I'm kidding. RRQ I think is still in the brackets. So, no. Then they go with a Skewer plus the RP. Skewer, RP, and Shockwave. What a better combination than that. Honestly, none. Yeah, just checking if RQ are still in this one. Because I keep forgetting who's in the winners brackets and the losers and whatnot. Oh no, RQ are out. Oh, right, because they were not one of the ones that passed, right? Both 458 and RRQ. Oh yeah, right. 458 and RRQ were both eliminated in the group stages. I forgot about that. That's why they're the lost Indonesian team. So I was right. The Prime NND is the only Indonesian team left in this tournament. Then again, the Mongolian team just got eliminated. Oh, it's now between Kyrgyzstan and... No, I'm kidding. Escott, careful. The Shadow Strike still hurts quite a lot, and so does the Sonic Wave, so you have to be really wary of this initiation by the Queen of Pain. His Infused Rain Dust is going to die. I think this is a huge mistake. It's just going to block a damage. Oh. I'm not going to block any damage. Okay. Maybe it's because only Shadow Strike level 1? Yeah, that's maybe why. Because the Infused Rain Dust does need a minimum damage of 50, and I do believe Shadow Strike, yeah, damage per tick is only 30, so you need level 3 or so to actually start taking away Infused Rain Drop ticks. Which is both good and bad for the Queen of Pain, because of course you can't take Infused Rain Drops off in the early game with just simply the Shadow Strike, but you also don't lose damage with every Shadow Strike used, so that's alright. I suppose. Give some more farm to this man. He needs some farm priority this game. I mean, his last hits have been going alright, and he does have more last hits than the Juggernaut, which I guess is your goal. And yeah, he does have more last hits than the Juggernaut. More denies, even. And of course, his net worth is above the Juggernaut, which is the important part, but you still want a bit more farm of the Sven than just these stacks, which is he's been acquiring. You have no ancient stacks just yet, and I know the Queen of Pain is snowballing, but you can't just rely on the Queen of Pain to win you the game. Right, we need some more stacks as well in this jungle, or maybe some ancient stacks. I only see 1. It's actually lacking against Panda. He's also going to go straight up for the Morbid or the Mask of Madness. Careful. Oh, there's the help from the upheaval. They want to take the tower regardless. They're going to finish it off there. Stormhammer to ensure that they can get that last hit. And then it comes 3 boxes with the Iron Shell. There's a lot of damage. The Burst, I guess, to come out. And they catch 2, but that Iron Shell is destroying R7. The upheaval's too annoying, and Panda doesn't know what to do. Has to heal up back up. The Sonic Wave hits on 3! And now the Warlock has to release his Golem. Rusman has to run away from these guys and has no mana to prevent their kill. So now Execration will be coming back into the game with a 3-killing spree. Triple kill for the Warlock. Oh, sorry, for the... Well, I say Warlock, for the Darkseer. However, the net worth doesn't seem to go too much in their favor. The Sven does go below everyone else in terms of net worth, but the Queen of Pain still pretty happy with how it's going, and so is the Magnus. That early game is really beneficial to them right now. And Sven... goes back to the top lane, continues farming, wants to get that Morbid Mask upgraded to the Mask of Madness as soon as possible, so that he can actually deal damage in team fights. And that team fight at God Strength would have been a bit better, but of course he didn't have it. 3 boxes, already level 11. He's really close to level 12, which is the height of his damage. However, the Veil of Discord has not yet been created on him, and he might not even be going for Veil of Discord. Straight up travel boots like the old Ember Spirits. It would not be a bad idea, honestly, straight up travel boots and then still go for Veil or some sort of magical damage with a Maelstrom. He's still going to go for the damage amplification. I can only ever imagine. He actually skipped the spell amplification. Okay. With the Remnants, it actually deals an extra 60 damage or so on level 2, which is not bad if you think considered it. It's extra 60 damage just for a small town. That's a small increase, but it's something. Okay, Frostbite, stopping his Remnants from happening. Good Sleight of Fist to prevent this. The Skewer, actually going to push him a bit further. Doesn't want to use the RP. Cancelled by the Searing Chains, actually. Magnus is really close to getting him with an RP, but he still has a Blink Dagger, so you just want to be an even better RP. I would not want to fight this. Even though you have Omni Slash, you're fighting against a possible Sonic Wave, which is coming out in 30 seconds. A God Strength that's not available, but he just had it for that team fight, and of course an RP. So it was a wise choice of actually the Prime NND to back up. They could have maybe forced a bit out of Execration, but they're a little bit afraid of that Omni Slash, I can only imagine. The Queen of Pain herself also needs to get an Orchid at a very good timing, because otherwise the Ember Spirit is going to start becoming a pain and snowballing. I mean, not necessarily snowballing, but being a nuisance. And I guess the Juggernaut's also very powerful. You force his farm to be horrendous in the early game, so you actually... Oh, wait, Burrow Strike, saving the Queen of Pain's life. Now the regen, she can still use it, and she's going to start regenerating quite a lot of health. Lil Meek, where are you going, my friend? They know exactly where you are. The Blink is not going to be used yet. Oh, they're so far away from Lil Meek. Rusman could not get that kill. Sven, though, will still continue to push in this middle lane. Is that a Blink Dagger? Oh, it's Magnus. Okay. Magnus Blink Dagger. I thought it was a Blink Dagger on the Sanking. And they have a really good ward here to tell him exactly where the enemy team is. They have a Sonic Wave available for the Warlock, about to die, but the mechanism saves his life. And Lil Meek is now fighting against Sven alone. He's been frostbitten. Panda doesn't seem to care about this Slardar, and it's going to turn him into the frozen food section now after the frostbite happens. No, in goes the RP, plus the skewer goes to the wall, who cares? The Sven is ready to hit the rockets on 5, but the base has been dropped for nothing, and now Panda wants to continue fighting against Harley Quinn, has enough damage, will finish him off. The upheaval is doing nothing to Panda, but in comes the remnants. First kill, second kill actually at the same time. The root dow's too long, the Queen of Pain also dies, and finally R7, that's a double kill for the 3 boxes, and 2 lines also helping out there with the damage from the Golem, I can only imagine, and the Fatal Bonds. Regardless, that was a fantastic play by the Ember, very much a worthwhile buyback. However, they still lose the team fight and force a buyback, and of course they lost much more with the RP earlier. So it was that team fight worth it? Since you're losing by a bit, yes, sure, for Execration, it was a good buyback. It allowed you to create a bad team fight, something that was alright, but of course it still wasn't a beneficial team fight for the guys at like I said, for the guys at the Execration. They're still losing by a bit against the Prime NND, just ever so slightly. Full screen is bugged for me too on Chrome. Interesting. I'm using Chrome and it should work, and it does work for me. So not entirely certain how that works. These teams are not match fixing. I just want to point out as the caster. Like I said, if the full screen is an issue, I just watch the replays on YouTube. I very much suggest it if you want to watch the games. I assure you that these teams are not match fixing. The ProDota Cup, one of the few things that we do very well is detecting match fixing. We've already detected other teams are match fixing in other parts of the event. And Sam, I assure you, the guy, well, one of the organizers, takes this very seriously. And there's never, I mean, there hasn't been a single match fixing in ProDota Cup that wasn't immediately discovered. They're pretty good at it, so I assure you these teams are not match fixing. Also, SCA is one of the most well-behaved scenes in terms of tournaments, and the only time they've ever match fixed was with Arrow Gaming, and those guys were just doing it constantly, so it's clearly bad apples in the scene. Execration will not do that, neither would the Prime NND. Also, this game does not seem match fixed. They're just messing up sometimes, and sometimes they're playing well. No games I've watched have match fixing. Sorry I got so serious about it. I just don't like when people accuse teams of match fixing without further proof, because understand that in the scene it's very important that, like I said, the teams that do match fix get punished, but the teams that don't, you can't get accused of match fixing. If that word starts being thrown around, it takes away the importance of it. And especially for players who are younger, and there's a lot of players who are younger in Dota, they have to understand if you're a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, that match fixing is very serious, and you're actually committing a felony. And a lot of people don't really understand that. That's why things like the Elite Wolves thing happen, which is really just a lack of understanding. Even the Arrow game was a lack of understanding. They try to get away with it, sure, you can call them assholes or whatever, but they were really just not understanding how grievous an issue this could be, and how it could ruin their further careers. So please don't do that, unless you have definite proof that either one of the teams are match fixing. Of course, in which case, yeah, please do. White Knight. Okay, stun, silence, and Sonic Wave as well. A lot of damage going to the Ember Spirit, and the Orchid should... Oh, so close to finishing him off. It was... Honestly, one more attack I think would have amplified the damage enough, but sadly, they don't get the kill onto the Ember Spirit. They do take the tower, and they're going to TP down top. Or up top. With Panda clearing this wave quite easily, denying a tower, happy with that, and they're going to be able to get a blink soon for this Sven. Also, don't call them trash, because another thing that I want to point out, and these teams might not be the best. They are tier 2, tier 2.5 in some cases, but they are the up-and-coming teams in Dota. A lot of these teams are later going to become the next guys to qualify for the SCA qualifiers. The guy who go, like Cloud9 started out in the ProDota Cup, for example, the current Cloud9. The guys from MV Evolution recently did very well in the DSC, started in this tournament. I mean, TNC and all those teams started in this tournament. A lot of the new blood comes to ProDota Cup. If we didn't have a league like ProDota Cup, and not only because I'm casting it, I love it, and I love it and appreciate that they let me cast it, but also because of the fact that it is a really good league. It really is. It's the fact that after joined Dota League kind of died off because of, well, special management issues and whatnot, and the fact that they wouldn't play any casters, so they wouldn't get any exposure. It kind of got screwed over, and a lot of small teams didn't get a chance to practice. But with this ProDota Cup, and we do now, Arsenal's gonna die. And that allows the scene to grow and for us to get new blood, and it's so important to get new blood. In fact, it's a pity that we can't get leagues like ProDota Cup in China, but they do have the DPL and other stuff like that, which is good. And those kind of leagues are the ones that bring first new blood to Dota. And if you love Dota, or you love, even if you fucking just love betting in Dota, because it's a pretty consistent game and people know how to play it, and you just love like watching it, you should enjoy these kind of leagues. Just because this is where the new blood comes from, and this is where they train. A lot of these teams could actually become really good in just a couple years, or maybe not even a couple years, a couple months even, with the concept practice that these leagues provide when they're almost on. So, Sim and Firefox and Explorer, that's so bad. I'm very sorry, Grog 82. I really do apologize. Hopefully, like I said, just watch the replay on YouTube. Best thing I can offer you if you want to watch it full on, or if you don't want to watch it, you don't care, just watch it in low screen mode. Put my audio on. I'm usually a pretty descriptive caster when it comes to team fights, so you don't really need to hear or you don't need to see what's happening necessarily, so you can just put the audio on for a while, maybe. That's it. There's enough for the people on YouTube. Sorry about this. Okay, Darkseer coming in. Yes, God. With the Surge. He comes with the smoke as well, but I don't know what the point of that smoke. Okay, it was used earlier, and I think it was... Yeah, I completely missed. Right, it was a smoke that we used with that offensive warding, and of course that missed. Panda now taking another tower. With the Echo Saber, actually deals a ridiculous amount of damage, and I find the Juggernaut. This is really dangerous, by the way. Juggernaut, please don't complete your TP. Comes in. It takes a considerable amount of damage. Luckily, Sven will do the same, and Panda wants to take this tower down. There's a Storm Hammer plus Sonic Wave. That is a dead Juggernaut. The Rock will hit all of them with a vacuum as well. Panda could just be going down. The Mask of Mass still been used, and there's the RP in the middle of the heal. Who cares? They get the kill onto the poor Darkseer. That's not what they were looking for. They were looking for the Ember, and they managed to kill him with the Epicenter, and now the damage for PF1. They're all dead, says the Queen of, says the Crystal Maiden. Only Warlock survives, and that was a beautiful RP that couldn't be completed because his fan was on really low health. Had to use the Mask of Madness there to try to kill someone, but of course, they still did a really good job. Great RP. The only thing that's really screwing them over is the upheaval that's really cutting this fan. Besides that, they're doing pretty well. Oh, okay, it's good that you pay attention to potential backspacing. Yeah, man, I'm not particularly... I'm just a caster, obviously, Mr. Letmine, but do understand that even though I don't pay attention personally, I do know that the people in charge of this tournament do, and they're very professional. That's one of the great things about it. It's not one of those small leagues that's not taken seriously. Everyone in this tournament is very professional. The admins, the organizer themselves, the schedulers. It's one of the nicer tournaments I've worked with, which is why I keep doing ProDota Cup. It's just a great tournament to work with, honestly. It's a pleasure. Right, Blink Dagger on Ember Spirit. 3 boxes is ready to do some damage, but of course without the Veil of Discord, his damage is a bit lacking. We have seen the last team fights have been okay though. Okay, it's a good silence, stop the amplified damage from coming out. The Ember Spirit can still kill off Sanking though. R7 gonna Burrow Strike himself away. Can he survive? This fan is ready. I heard of God's Strength. He wants to jump in. He has a Blink Dagger as well. Gonna go on to the Slaughter, and they want to make some flatfish here, but the Slaughter is surviving for a while. They actually killed the Queen of Pain. There's not the best of team fights. The Magnus doesn't even have the RP, and the next objective is Ember Spirit. He might be a better objective. 3 boxes. Doesn't have any way of it leaving here. Finally, the Remnants come off cooldown. One last Stormhammer will stop him in his tracks, and all they need is a blink to finish him off, but then they're going to go for the Darkseer instead. Panda is getting kited all over the place. Harlequin does not have the Omni Slash. They actually already finished off the Crystal Maiden, and Panda can't even fight. These 2 Execration players are destroying the Prime NND, and even though they do have a higher net worth difference, because of course they were winning for quite a long time, the Execration take a really good team fight, a whole team wipe against the Prime NND, just because the Prime NND played and did not play so well. I don't find it on YouTube. Well, of course I don't find it on YouTube. The replays are put up on YouTube once I finish the match. It's the whole game. You can't watch the stream. You can watch parts of the game. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you say you watch the game and then you say at one part you thought, oh, that's a pretty good play, I want to rewatch it again in full screen with nice quality. Go on YouTube and you'll find it once the game is over. I upload them as soon as the game ends. Of course, and to do so, go on Twitter, the Twitter link I'll put later at DSwordfish. There's my YouTube channel, and you can just go there. It's much easier. You can find the replays for the whole tournament. Right, this tournament is going to go down easy to Execration. I mean, not much problem. The Prime NND can't really defend this, even though they have a Magnus RP. Oh, actually, okay, seems like they do want to. They could have taken this down beforehand, I do believe, but that was a pretty dangerous engagement if they did want to go in. If they did continue to fight this. With the freezing field, I forgot completely is very powerful as well. The Sven goes in, has the Empower, also the Mask of Madness, deals a ridiculous amount of damage to Roshan, even without the minus armor, and the Mask of Madness helps him a lot. Lil Meek though wants to go in, oh, so they're in Crush, will come out with a burst like it was a perfectly timed stun. Great Sonic Wave, now they try to push him in, but the Rock plus Vacuum completely destroys the Prime NND, and the Freezing Field will do nothing as Execration take the Roshan and 5 heroes for free. Now the game is going completely in their favor, and that's why I didn't want them to fight. You don't fight against a Darkseer under the goddamn Roshan. That Vacuum is too good with a Rock. I mean, every time he drops the base, it's been a 5-man Warlock Golem. It's ridiculous. That's why it's so powerful here. Oh, God. The Prime NND, what are you even meant to do against that? Frankly, they could have gone in with an RP, and RP is powerful, as you saw there, but it's hard to use over a Vacuum. The Vacuum has so much more area of effect and AoE, and in addition to that, it has, well, bigger range. You actually can use it from farther away. With a Blink Dagger, this Darkseer beats you in range, AoE, and mobility, and all you can do as a Magnus is hope that you have the right RP at the right time, with the damage from your Sven being sufficient. But without that BKB, my friend, Sven is really screwed over right now. He gets kited constantly. The surges are also very annoying to deal with, and on top of having to deal with all those surges and all that, you know, damage enemy team is putting out, you also have to deal with, for example, Searing Chains and Vacuum, which are stopping you in your tracks. The Amplified Damage, which are adding damage to you, especially because your Mask of Madness and your already subtracts a bit of armor. And more importantly as well, that annoying Warlock Golem, that Chaotic Offering has been coming out every single time. Every single time they use the Vacuum. Every team fight, they get one of those Warlock Golems out, one of those Chaotic Offerings, and, well, Execration just wins the fight, pretty much. Now they have a Scotty as the next item on the Juggernaut. I don't agree. I think the Diffusal Blade will still be really good against this Sven because it kites him to oblivion, but whatever. It's also pretty good against the Queen of Pain, against the Magnus, so I think that definitely Diffusal Blade is a consideration this game, at the very least. But we'll see. Okay, Ember Spirit, 3 boxes, gonna be stunned out by the Burrow Strike. Pretty good job by R7. There's the Skewer, brings him back. The Frostbite, they want to kill him. The Stormhammer's even committed to this, but the Ember Spirit still has some fighting spirit left alive. He has to TP away, has the damage, oh sorry, has the Blink Dagger. Now the TP is available because of the Magic Stick, and oh, he won't even need to TP. He's just gonna walk home. 3 boxes makes it out of that engagement alive, and the Prime NND so sad they missed that last Burrow Strike because of lack of range, of course. And with this, I believe Execration will be taking a free tower, taking advantage of that Aegis. And it seems like the Prime NND might have the better towers, but they don't have the better game. Oh, burn! And with that, Harlequin will be taking the tier 2 down. And he himself getting closer to that Scotty, making him almost unkillable, frankly. That's true. I mean, Diffusal Blade I do like more because it gives you more immediately, but if you do build a Scotty in a pretty nice timing, before minute 30, then you can have a ridiculous amount of stacks ready for the Juggernaut to consume. Okay, he has Aegis, so he should be fine. Also, the Blade Fury attacks this tower for a bit. Only 1 hit to show dominance, you know. You hit it once, like it's like a dog pissing on the furniture. It just knows that it's his now. So Harley Quinn will continue to attack it. Oh, there they go. The Rock again. Jesus Christ. The base keeps getting dropped. And the Army just comes out right on time to destroy everyone in the Prime NND. BF1 is about to die, but they're lucky enough that that illusion for the Crystal Maiden doesn't deal any damage. Now they're going to go on to the Sanking. He's actually gone in, but he wasn't able to get a kill. Ruzmine finally joins, but he's already used a Sonic Wave. Escott taking considerable amount of damage just from Ruzmine, but right now, the guys from Execration keep on pushing. They know they have the advantage, but they only killed Crystal Maiden with their great ultimate, so it might not be too long before they have to retreat. Exactly, the RP catches 2. The Dark's is gonna die first, and now the poor Juggernaut will be sacrificed to the gods. He tries to use the Mantis Style to survive, only will give him 1 more second. Now the Queen of Pain fighting against the Warlock and against the Ember, but in comes the Ember back, blows up the Queen of Pain, and does the same with the Sand King. They all proceed to go top. They have to stop this Sven TP, but won't be able to in time. That Slithering Crush was not available. And sadly, the Sven will not only take melee racks, but also retreat. At the Prime NND doing a bit of rat dodo to win this game. Maybe they're not out after all. It just seems like they are. Solar Crest onto the Warlock. The Slaughter's Blink Dagger is also available. The Solar Crest is going to be really useful for the Warlock, by the way, so that it can really help with the high ground deep push. And more importantly, is because this team of Execration has just realized that they have a sustained high ground push, but against some sort of split pushing tactic, especially by the Sven, he pushes lanes quickly and he pushes towers even quicker with that God Strength. So there's no way that you can defile or fight against the Panda once he's got the God Strength on. So what they have to do right now is try to do the sustained push onto the lane with a Solar Crest, especially utilizing the Juggernaut as well. That's pretty nice, and try to take the tower as fast as they can. Obviously, take those mega creeps, or sorry, those racks at some point, because if they're gonna fight against Super Priest constantly, they're gonna start having issues. They're not the fastest pushers in the world, and even though the Ember's going for Maelstrom, I don't think that's going to be enough to outweigh the power of a Sven with some Empower. Yeah, literally, power of a Sven with the power. Haha. Haha. Okay, the Ember's about to lose, but he has Remnant, so it's fine. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. In fact, the push is starting from the bottom lane with Execration. Ember starts joining them, and Harlequin is also going to join very soon. He's waiting for the Scotty. It wouldn't be a wise idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea to grab the Scotty. Yeah, because once you grab the Scotty, you're quite invincible, so you can really play a bit more aggressively. Oh, Arsenal's about to dive in there. The Shadow Ward is just going to kill him, so there was no need to use that Revenant, but okay. Whatever. That's fine, 3 boxes. Waste 2 Remnants for nothing. Sure. Maybe the Sanky could have survived if he had just, you know, magically used on Sandstorm and prevented the Shadow Ward damage, or bought an infused Raindrop last second and saved himself, or used Spike Carpus because he looks like a Nyx assassin, so why not? And now Harlequin will continue to go on these towers. Careful, Panda stunning him out. Stormhammer, a lot of damage. VKB also available. Harlequin with the Glimmer Cape. He's evading a lot of damage. And now the Omniscience will come out. Roosmine is getting destroyed by the Zombie Slash. But the RP from the backlines, also the Rock. Both teams are stunned out. And now it's Execration finally ready to attack. The Vacuumous Wall Replica comes out. Stops the freezing field completely. And the Prime NND are dropping like flies. Sure, they do have a Juggernaut dead, but in exchange they got 4 kills. 4 kills on the enemy team. Why did I say that so weirdly? And Sven was one of them. Now they catch up the Magus. This is exactly what they want. They find the perfect kill, and all they need to do is finish him off with the too many 4-staff, and the guy, 3 boxes, doesn't really know what to do here. They can use the Golem just to push his tower any further, and tier 3 will finally go down. It is time for the racks to be taken as well. They find the Sanking. He has a Burrow Strike. Careful, because he can't use it while he's rooted. Now the stun, but he actually stuns out Slaughter as he goes away. Skewer catches both. They only need a shock with a Slither Crush misses, and BF1 will be getting that kill against the Slaughter. There's no Searing Chance available right at the doors of the base. 3 boxes, dives the fountain just so you get the kill onto the Magnus. That's everyone dead for the Prime NND for a long, long time. However, without the Juggernaut, they don't really have the ability to push this too hard, and the Juggernaut has no travel boots. He has to TP here as soon as possible and try to help with this incursion against the enemy team. Because all they can go for is range tracks and keep killing things, and the Crystal May is offering herself as a victim, but for now, I think it's Execration's turn to just kind of leave. Yep, there's the root, not gonna do much. Oh no, Ember, Ember, Ember. Why? Orchid, silence, so much damage. Ember, what is he doing? He tries to kill the Crystal Maiden. He actually tries to run away with the Remnant, but of course Panda predicts that perfectly. And the Stormhammer finishes him off. And yeah, Grog 82. I'm glad you understood. Cool, dude. The only thing that is not bugged is the mobile app. Really? I don't know if Smashcast is a mobile app. Honestly, I don't watch Smashcast though. Yeah, I use it and everything, and I don't think it's that bad. Honestly, I think it's pretty okay. This maybe just be issues with it today, and then it'll fix itself tomorrow. Usually, it works fine for the most part. But that's why I put it on YouTube, because I know Smashcast with certain different countries doesn't work as well. So I just put it on YouTube so that everyone can watch it. Because of course, that's my job as a caster. Make sure people, as many people as I can, to appreciate the game. So make sure the game reaches as many people as I can, so they can appreciate it and just watch these teams grow as players. That's the beauty of competitive Dota. Right, Panda with a double damage. Pretty lucky that he grabbed that, and he's able to now take a tower possibly with double damage. And now they got strength. Yep, he activates it, and there he goes. Look at the damage he does to these towers. Lil Meek jumps in with a stun, and that is an upheaval. RP brings Lil Meek together with a Darkseer. They're packaged in a 2-for-1 deal, and they're gonna get a double kill for well, actually nothing used except for a Sonic Wave and an RP, so that's not that bad for Panda. Getting all the initiation enemy team gone. Juggernaut's the only thing left alive. Ember Spirit's already dead, and the Prime NND are ready to take these towers. There's already 1 Rax lost in the top lane. They're gonna go for a second lane of Rax in this middle lane. All they need is one last one in this bottom lane. They've seen Infused Rain out on the floor. It's not gonna distract them from their job, which is to take the tier 3 down bottom. The Rock is available. Is the Warlock ready to drop the base? Oh, Shadow Word, Shadow Word. Come on, come on. All they need to do is drop the base now. They have a 4-staff. They Searing Chains him. They have to use it. Oh, they're ready. The base gets dropped. It stops the Sven TP. Now they go into Panda. The Shadow Ward dealing a lot of damage, actually. And in the end, the Shadow Ward is actually going to murder him. So Execration get the kill on the Sven as he's retreating, but they also lose a lot of racks as a result, so that's not going too well for them. Like I said, the RP was really fantastic. They're catching out the only initiation the enemy team had, thus forcing them to really assess the situation and think, can we actually fight this? Because without Darkseer, they don't have that wombo combo that they're looking for every time. And that really screws them over. Harley Quinn with a Basher. They have the Blade Dance as well to hit the Roshan even further. The Scotty also helps out a lot because it does reduce the attack speed a bit for the Roshan. But of course, this is a dangerous Roshan. You're fighting against a Magnus that has RP in 21 seconds. Can you... Oh, never mind. Can you take the Roshan in 21 seconds to amplify damage slaughter? That's a trick question. Of course they can. They even have a Solar Crest to help them. Yeah, this Roshan's going down. I cannot imagine a way that even the Sank could steal this. I mean, he could blink in. Oh, and he goes! No, does not steal anything. But at least he makes it out alive. I spoke too soon. R7 actually might just go down. Yeah, amplify damage, easy kill. So sorry, I screamed there. In he goes is what I said, but I was way too excited about the whole idea of, ooh, someone's a golem on death, that's cool. I was so excited about the idea of just, you know, what was it? The Sanking just going in and stealing the Aegis that I completely forgot about the idea that maybe that was a terrible idea and it could have died. But whatever. The guys in the Prime NND are still winning ever so slightly, and the whole point here is that they can still keep pushing the lanes. I love this build the Queen of Pain went for Bloodthorn and then, sorry, Orchid first, and then go for the Scythe of Ice. Now going for a BKB as well to withstand some of the damage of the enemy team. Similarly, BKB on the Sven. Now going for a Daedalus himself. With the recent nerf, or buff actually, to the Demon Edge, is helping him out considerably because the Daedalus is not as expensive. And that's the main factor here. Here Usman comes in with a Veil of Discord. He has the Arcane Aura though. And the Scythe of Ice. So they're ready. I'm sorry, we're gonna say the Arcane. He has the Scythe of Ice and the Orchid, so they could kill a potential Ember Spirit. Of course, the Linkage really screws her over. They did use the Shadow Strike. Shadow Strike takes too long to hit him, so the Linkage takes a long time to be dispelled by Shadow Strike. I don't think I mean, I don't know if the 550 AoE Shadow Strike disabled Linkens, that would be really good. But of course it doesn't. So the spell lifesteal is always gonna be the option for the Queen of Pain. And Rusman has the option to go into 3 bucks for now, and with a Scythe of Ice and the Orchid, it's an easy silence or an easy spell. I don't know if that, or an easy hex, sorry. I don't know if the silence is what you've been looking for, I suppose. Because the Ember for sure has a Remnant. Oh no, he was fighting without a Remnant. Had he known that, that would have been an easy Shadow Strike. So Shadow Strike to block the Linkens, then Scythe of Ice or Orchid, and then you're done. I mean, that's an easy kill. No effort put into that at all. So right now, the Prime NND are really trying not to lose this game, essentially. A single throw can lose in this game really easily, just any single team fight that the enemy team takes, and both teams have really good team fight, which is why it's been such a back and forth game. When you rely so much on team fight and execution, you either rely on a good RP or a good vacuum wall replica plus golem. The thing about it is that the Vacuum Wall Replica Golem, surprisingly enough, is easier to execute because the Vacuum is a huge spell. Whereas the Magnus using his RP a bit harder, so that's why the guys at the Prime NND lose team fights. However, they do take a nice team fight on. Nothing that Execration can do, really. They do take a nice RP and it catches, especially the Ember Spirit. If it impacts on the Ember Spirit, then you're done. Yeah, it's done. I mean, the Ember Spirit's screwed because, of course, the damage from this fan is considerable. I mean, it's too much. And now that he's going for Daedalus, they'll have even more damage. That Daedalus is so important for this fan. Being able to now grab the Empowered Daedalus, of course, right? So, cleave 100% with your Great Cleave, and, of course, the Magnus. In fact, more so, actually. Because the Magnus with a 60%, yeah, 60% cleave now, plus the 60% from, or 66% of the Great Cleave, makes it 126% cleave, meaning that the first target that you hit actually gets dealt less damage than the targets you cleave. Meaning that if you go on someone with low armor, say for example a Warlock, actually he has a lot of armor, someone like the Ember Spirit, maybe, I think he's the lowest armor hero on the enemy team, then boom, you cleave everyone to oblivion. Alright, they have an RP though. I would not fight this. In fact, the Juggernaut has put himself in a really difficult position, but he doesn't have an Aegis, so he should be fine. In comes the Sanking, trying to disable some of the enemy team. Warlock has already been hexed, and the Sonic Wave comes out, deals barely any damage to anyone. Panda still wants to fight, comes to the Juggernaut. He still has an Aegis, let's not forget, so Panda, for now, is being a bit dangerous, and maybe not the best of objectives here chosen. Harlequin keeps attacking these racks. Has the Crystal Nova onto him, but of course the Healing Ward really helps him out. There's nobody trying to attack him. All they need to do is an RP or something, but of course they need to destroy these racks or save him or something. There it is. They start the initiation. Lil Meek with a Slithering Crush. They start attacking Panda. The racks are also easily available for the kill. And there comes the Amethyst. Tries to kill the racks, but no. The Amethyst gets evaded. Now the RP catches two. That's exactly what they wanted. The perfect RP with the rock from the wall stops exactly what the enemy team was trying to do. But a second RP will also catch the Juggernaut. This is the time for the Prime NND to counterattack, but the Juggernaut Age is so annoying. Everyone has to buy back, and Harley Quinn, still full health, is dealing too much damage to what the Prime NND is doing. The Magnus forced to buy back is not going to do anything. There's a TP from NFR, but I think he just misclicked there. And it's time for Execration to take the tower in the mid lane. Rosemont goes onto the Juggernaut. He still has the Aegis, let's not forget, so it's not an easy kill. Frostbite stops him, not the Orchid, but the Lotus Orb takes away the Orchid damage, or the Orchid silence, and then NFR could be dying to Juggernaut. No, Harley Quinn's objective is actually Frostbite. Never mind, it's the Warlock, but he has a Golem up on death, so you don't really want to kill him now. Beautiful skewer for the Magnus, puts the Juggernaut in a difficult position. Harley Quinn, again, still has the Aegis, so just wants to keep killing NFR, sends the illusions after him. She'll be able to just deal with him. However, the Hex stops the Juggernaut in his tracks. They want to kill him twice, that's the goal, but he has a Scotty, he's way too tanky. The Aegis is going to be proc very soon. The skewer, the shockwave, that's enough damage for the Magnus, they're going to go down. Can he survive a second attack? Gaunt's Strength is ready, he starts spinning, he wants to fight the Sven. Here's the help from the Ember Spirit, he joins into the fray, he wants to attack the Panda, but not going to catch him even with a vacuum. A skewer that puts the two lines into a difficult position, but he's going to survive for now. And now Ember coming in, it attacks Panda. Panda decides to attack him. It's the wrong choice because Panda right now is being harassed to oblivion with a Juggernaut. He actually evades the Borrow Strike. The damage is too great. Panda will die for 80 seconds, and that's a buyback force on the Prime NND unless they want to keep on fighting this. Rosemont, they have to blink away into the trees. It should be okay for now because she TVs back to base. But this initiation by Execration took a long time, but it didn't take any towers. They only took the bottom lane for now, whereas Lil Mika decided to finally go into the base and try to do some damage. But of course, these racks are not even being targeted. The Sonic Wave, actually it's Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn finally dies. That's 80 seconds without Harley Quinn. It's a time for them to attack the enemy team and to really get those kills. The vacuum stops them from going onto the Ember Spirit and the Darkseer. Even the Warlock walks away. And for now, Execration are not losing anyone. Okay, never mind. They're losing the Warlock. Yeah. Veil Discord. Yeah, I don't think the Golem on death is... I mean, if it gives him gold, I don't know if this is good on for the Warlock. Easy and valuable kill. Because now, Warlock on death, that's a really good stun, but of course... So, Golem on death. And with the Golem, that is an extra 100 gold for the team. Oh, 80. Huh, wow, interesting. Why is it 80 gold? Does Sven have a buyback? Yeah, that's why. Buyback gold penalty. Alright, well, doesn't really matter. This Sven was forced to buy back surely, but of course now they have to team fight. I mean, they lost their buybacks. They defended it as best they can, and they forced a lot of bad plays, Execration. But of course, your buybacks are wasted unless you try to take something. And with a God Strength, BKB, Blink, and Mask of Madness, Sven might be able to take racks. There it is. There he goes. And the Warcry. Used first. Where's the BKB? Doesn't use it, gets hit. Beautiful RP! Catches the two of them! And now they're stunned forever. The guys at the Execration will lose the Ember Spirit for 120 seconds. No buyback of the dude as the racks start to fall against Panda's damage. Just smoke from behind. Escod, sorry, wants to go in. The vacuum replica is pretty good. But Omni Slash doesn't deal any damage to BF1 right now. Neither to Panda. The Ember finally comes out. Also the Freezing Field. So much magical damage. How is the Juggernaut surviving this? There's some Blade Fury available, but he can't use it in time. He's gonna go down to the Sven damage. They also lost their racks. There's Mega Creeps. Lil Me can't even stun anyone thanks to the skewer. They'll finish him off with a Burrow Strike. And Execration only have a Juggernaut left to defend this. What is Harley Quinn gonna do alone? Absolutely nothing. That's the answer. Absolutely nothing. He's been silenced. He's already used his Manta. What are you doing? Oh, the Prime NND is actually playing really safely, knowing what to do. They just got Mega Creeps. They forced those racks. They forced the buyback of the Juggernaut. And also Ember Spirit is dead for 80 seconds. They could go in, but if they lose this Sven again, and they have no buyback of the Sven, so it could be a complete loss for them. So instead, they decide to wait for the next Roshan, which might be coming in 9 seconds. We don't know yet. And if they do accomplish it, that would be a great edge in the coming next team fight. Because, of course, that buyback is still offline for the Ember for quite a while. And so is for the Juggernaut. Roshan responds in 33 seconds. That's not bad. I'm glad they put that Roshan time. I really am glad they put the Roshan time. And Bounty Hunter and Bounty Hunter Darkseer in top lane could be an easy target. However, they're not gonna find him in time. And with Crystal Maiden, of course, smoked up or invisible. They could have gone the kill, but whatever. Now they have to defend against Mega Creeps. And the Mjolnir is available on the Ember, but of course he's dead for 15 more seconds. If they kill him any time during this period, I suppose, then the Ember, again, does not have buyback. Because he does not buyback for quite a long time. 3 more seconds. 3 more minutes, sorry. And similarly, the Juggernaut also doesn't have buyback for quite a long time. So that's going to hurt him considerably. I don't understand this game, but it's fun to follow and bet some money on. That's cool. I'm glad that... You should try to get in the Dota if you do bet on it. It's a really fun spectator game, so just try understanding the spectator things. If there's anything that you need help with, Grog82, I'm more than happy to answer questions. That's my job as an analyst, really. Usually I don't do this, but when we're lower viewers and not many people are speaking in chat, and some people are having questions about the game at all, and is there some downtime, why not? Explain some things to the viewers, get more people interested in Dota. It's the beauty of Tier 2, Tier 3. You have to adapt your cast and know what you're casting exactly, so as long as people don't complain too much about me explaining very basic concepts, feel free to ask anything out, and I'll just answer you. I used to do, when I was working with, not even BTS, it was before I was with BTS, I used to do, in Spanish, mind you, I used to do some noob casts as well. We were the first Spanish noob cast ever to be made, and I practiced a lot for that. It took me like a whole month of preparing, honestly. It's kind of hard to do a noob cast. And that's why Purge was so good at it. Honestly, I didn't particularly love ODPixel in the noob cast. He wasn't particularly good for noobs, but that takes a lot of practice, and that's why I take pride in my noob casting abilities. This is going to be a Roshan taken down. Solo Crest, easy for these guys. And Harley Quinn is going to be taking this Roshan quite easily. With a Solo Crest and amplified damage, I mean, there's nothing they can do to really make him survive. Goodbye, Roshan. Damage from Harley Quinn too high. The Aegis of the Immortal taken by him, and the damage by Execration. Able to take down this Roshan. Oh, hello. They catch a piggy Ember Spirit, stun him out, and destroy him. Execration will be losing their Ember again for 90 seconds. What just happened? They just found him out quickly. They weren't even smoked up. They didn't have vision of him. Now the Shrine is going to go down. The God Strength is still available if they need to go onto these towers. And of course, that Ember, there's no initiation here. Lil Me can't even really go in. They kill the Warlock as well. Gonna drop a Warlock. Oh, maybe they save him with the Garden Greaves. And comes the Crystal Maiden. They want to get a kill. Harley Quinn is gonna just destroy the Crystal Maiden and Omni Slash. The Vacuum Wall Replica as well. Now the goal, that's pretty good. It's not being felt, but the RP catches the Juggernaut, and one hit deals way too much damage. There's no way Harley Quinn is surviving. He still has the Aegis, but who cares, frankly? The Prime NND are able to take these towers down. Now the second Stormhammer. They need a second RP. Where is it? Where is it, the second RP? Just looking for it. A skewer. Not what they were looking for. You wanted an RP, my friend. The Berserk finally helped out, and there is the RP everyone was looking for. BF1 stops the Juggernaut twice in a row, and also kills the Darkseer as an extra present, because why the hell not? She actually went for the extra Shadow Strike AoE just to try it out, because why not? They are winning after all. And now the defense from the Juggernaut is trying her best to try to defend this Ancient, but of course he's fighting against too many heroes. He's the only left member of his team trying to fight against everyone, but everyone's on really low health. Did they commit a mistake? No, the mistake was committed by the Juggernaut by staying there forever. And of course the GG will have to be thrown. This game is done for the Prime NND. They'll be taking the first match of this best of 3 against Execration. And with this, they're one step closer to continuing in this tournament, ironically. The guys from the Prime NND, one step closer to not only eliminating Execration, but continuing in the losers brackets to go against the guys from... What is it that they'd be fighting against? They'd be going against Nasty Potatoes. So guys, stay tuned for the match number 2. See if Execration can come back and make this a tie at the very least. Go to that game number 3. My name's been DSwordfish. Hope you've enjoyed the cast. If you did enjoy it, follow me on Twitter. There you can also find my link to my YouTube channel where you can find the replays. If anyone wasn't able to watch it properly on Smashcast, I posted as soon as the best of 3 ends. I post the replay, so feel free to check it out there. And of course, give me a follow if you did enjoy the cast. I'll see you guys soon with the next game of the day. Enjoy some tunes while we wait. Hope you enjoyed, and until then, guys.